call inside forest inside the hɔ na nkasa no yakɔche machine 9 ya na wo forest inside the hɔ wada no ho pɛ ya omu edie ya wo ana Jacobu ya odotobiri chairman one ne nkɔfo tu kai ba ye ne galamsey ni na ɔte galamsey ni na ya che ne ka enum ɛna omu bɛka che sɛ wono na de wo mu abɛhye hɔ enti mpanyimfo atachire enti yenyae saa adwuma na ya ayeye no.
I said that in the galamsey space there's nothing like politics. We meet you there, we treat you as an individual who is committing a crime. And therefore, we don't want to veer into the arena of politics. Politics is for the politicians. It's a directive of the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Ashanti Boah, that having removed these gadgets from the field, there is definitely a positive use for them. And that's what we call the repurposing.
Yeah.
And when we got a letter from your outfit, the National Service Scheme, to authorities for pumping machines, we're excited because it is the Honorable Minister's vision that these machines should be repurposed to feed Ghana.
We actually requested for 50, and NAIMOS together with the ministry decided to give us 100. We see to sustainable, agriculture and promote the Feed Ghana agenda.
And National Service Secretariat is very much. Omni go water, farms. If you are come. Ashanti South Police Command. I say, and nipa baku 4. Arrest because of illegal mining in Krobo Forest Reserve. Despite alleged attempts by a local NDC official to secure their release. Almost 2 excavators and other mining equipment. Now, NAIMOS, as well as Nipa 277, and 163, Tamatini, foreigners. Omonte Ghana how. And then Concrofe was South African, 163 are foreigners. Now, just guess what? Omodo chain Ghanaians na ya chi omono. Amona we foreigners no. Ya jimi enti. Amanfo from man so. Asa ba Ghana ha. Ama chese in the lead omu to galamsey site. Ana omum do so chain ye. This kind of crown no say pesa di akọ. Hey, isira kanyame. Na eno na omusi omaji 112 excavators. Colonel Dominic Boah, Director of Operations at the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. We ni koma wedi na o se galamsey ni de nke tu be dwuma twa. Na problem is say udi galamsey ni from musamwie. No mo madwuma na say adwuma no. I ho sika ene galasika na nyepe a no mo sako back.
I said that in the galamsey space there's nothing like politics. We meet you there, we treat you as an individual who is committing a crime. And therefore, we don't want to veer into the arena of politics. Politics is for the politicians. But when we get to the galamsey ground, it is individuals who are committing crimes. Let me end up by saying that NAIMOS has done so well, and so far, we have achieved so much. Apart from the calm you see, behind it, we have arrested over 277 people from galamsey space, out of which 163 are foreign nationals and 100 and something are Ghanaians. I should say the Ghanaians are smarter because they can escape, they know the terrain. Probably that is why. But there are about 112 excavators which are seized and secure that I can always go and show whoever wants to see. They are under the authority of the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. There are over 4,000 chamfans which have been destroyed from our water bodies. And then weapons, currently we are in the process of processing seized weapons. About 124 weapons assorted with majorly pump action guns have been seized. And we are in the process of handing over to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for onwards, handing to the Ministry of Interior, Ghana Police Service, and Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission, so that they can be documented properly and destroyed where they need be. So that the story will be that of a straightforward one and not a crooked one like we highlighted we've seen in the past. So we are focused, we are poised, and want to assure the good people of Ghana that NAIMOS will be active. Our focus is the water bodies, and we want to pray and hope that come July, when the rainy season stops, we may see a few water bodies clearing, and then we can sustain it to other areas.
Galamsey fight has not been an easy one, especially from your secretariat that is taking charge of that. What are the assurances you're giving to the Ghanaian populace that at least we are on track?
Thank you very much for such an excellent question. From last year, I'm sure you've monitored what NAIMOS has been able to do. It wasn't easy when we started somewhere in May, June last year, where there was galamsey everywhere, and we wake up, the media space was flooded with galamsey issues. But ultimately, I think we've seen what NAIMOS is doing, and the media has also been carrying the news. We try to, especially along the roads from when you move from Accra to Kumasi, it was very nasty. When you move along the road, there was rampant galamsey. We tried to control that. And then the water bodies, we've tried so hard, but then it's something that has been on for so many years. And therefore, it's become a livelihood. And when you are tackling such challenges, you need to be diligent. You need to be careful because you can't take off people's livelihood without giving them alternative. And that is why, as you monitor the Responsible Cooperative and Skill Development Program, they are also registering. They've done a lot of registration. We are almost setting off to engage them, the miners, I should say, because once you register them, they don't want to call themselves galamseyers. Of course, they are miners because they become cooperative miners. So we are trying to shift them from the water and then put them into the cooperative mining, which they are comfortable with. One thing is that when you give them alternative livelihoods, which do not fetch as much as they get from there, it becomes a work in futility. So we try to give them something which is similar and they are familiar, which is the mining. But we want to do it responsibly, as the government has highlighted and the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources always highlights. We need to give them alternative, viable, sustainable livelihood. That's why responsible cooperative mining are helping.
I'm saying now we expect something different now. Next in year could do 1 week. Now the boy money 2,000 a week. 2,000 a week. Next year you man no boss me what just saying. Obey na go back. Yen ma kola no 15 years say in a week. No just 6,500 Ghana cedis. Chairman, a junior doctor bisika. Who says sika ya kola ni nya ne boys ni nya na. There's no way say adwuma bia o Ghana ha bia o de be ma na be so no. Enti omo no sikadura no maje no. O sign na chi enye yiye. But we have to end the galamsey. We have to end it. Now, everybody saying, I'm a foreigners. It does change. Ghanaians, Abra NAIMOS 40 galamsey for. I Ghana for any more than it. Because so many roots, no. And now say, foreigners, none does change. But one thing, are there an NDC executive ever stop galamsey, anti-galamsey task force for? The government must take an action. Don't you agree with me? Catch me comment section and see where we are. Subscribe, like it. Let's say Monia NB area. You know, eba could max billion. I will naked through the old bugger trends. Ogo PMU ewo Krobo Forest Reserve. Ewo Ashanti regional. The Ashanti South Police Command. I said, Omona nam. And I'm say galamsey for there. Nanzia so mo ya doso. And to my imagine some metche pa. And ye we be amagonya nipa. Amachi omo nipa ba ku 9. Yet nipa for we di omo excavators edidi niam aka wie ya. Yet wa na de se ona ne konwa. Ona ka bia ye. Oye party ni ba. Enti ye sense we nya hwe. Enti wa ba be ka bi.
4 suspected illegal miners have been arrested at the Krobo Forest in the Ashanti Central District of the Ashanti region during a joint anti-galamsey operation conducted by the Ashanti South Police Command and Logis Group Company Limited. During the operation, excavators were seized by the task force. This, however, witnessed political interference after the NDC chairman for Jakobu, Jacob Boben, the NADMO coordinator for Amanse Central, and some party executives made attempts for the release of the suspects, claiming that they were affiliates. They also demanded the handover of the excavators and other equipment confiscated in connection with illegal mining activities. But speaking to the media, the operations manager for Lodges Group Company Limited, said Kofi Ejeyi, stated that the suspect will be made to face the law. According to him, political interference continues to affect the company's efforts in combating illegal mining and reclaiming degraded forest lands in the area.
Inside forest inside the Honan Casano. Yakoche machine 9 ya ne wo forest inside ho wada no ho pe ya omu edie ya wo ho ana Jakobu ya odotobri chairman one ne nkofo tu kai ba ya ne galamsey ni na ote galamsey ni na ya che ne kanum ena omu beka che se wono na de wo mu abehye ho enti mpanyumfo atachire enti yenyai saa adwuma na ya ye no.
We seized 4 machines operating illegally near the Oda River in Krobo Forest. As we prepared to move them, the NDC chairman for Jakobu arrived with his group and some galamseyers. They claim to have brought both the machines and the illegal miners to the site. He said the anti-galamsey task force turned down the request, explaining that their mandate came directly from the government to carry out these operations and protect the forest and land from destruction. Mr. Ejeyi therefore called on government to intervene and prevent political interference in the fight against galamsey, warning that without such action, the battle against the menace cannot be won. We are not conducting this operation on our own authority. It is in line with the government's directive to end this menace. It is becoming very troubling recently.
Timesre aban se onhwe na saa niema ni nyina no omuhwe nsia no se ye beboa o manmu ni nyina na boa enchirima na ya ye ban
o president ne se offer ti galamsey nano copper $200,000 for trial exhibition kwa and spend here NAIMOS for emamu 115 million Ghana cedis, that's equivalent to about $14 million at that time. Aside that, go board for the $5 million Ghana cedis and the command NAIMOS for so money and fight galamsey. You create a task force, you muka extra money. Blue water guide, you more musika, so money in now to solve galamsey. 250 motorbikes from the president, plus 5 friends, Toyota pickups. How many can NAIMOS go board for the 5 pickups? Ekamu, nyapadi amabubo we na so. Omo travel, sika mo TNT, petrol no, yankanka ho. We, the same party. What do you say? The person stopping galamsey. We're using that. But here he is. Say on here. But I don't fault them. Say yatia and things are punished you bia. Now ni baku MC baku ya. 4 testers for koye. A friend is saying galamsey expose. E ba na MC or 3,000, 10,000, 30,000. Emma kwama galamsey for gotu. You accuse an MP, sitting MP. Oh, NDC, nothing has happened. 2 NDC executives, yourself, you mean, and the 10th vice chairman, Edema NDC, I will carry a bagana. You accuse you, you see, Yoko, you Semuko, the Amokatre, Muye ente. Ebenezer Ado, no MP, you go for going you. You're going net here, in the parliament in theory. So if you do this, you enable them. Oh my God, says a party member, yeah, and we have gotten the president and the lands and natural resource minister practically saying so. Say, or when him saying this, if only be shall say, I know me galamsey no. So it's not as if you're in away. The president is even away. We had an MC here. No, Jina Belgium, when you could come, Yaka's a secret tape. Original Belgium, ye de come the sin so microphone shanano. And I say, even now, me reported to the presidency. Ɔsi na mo fona so yɛ de omunya haba na gala fo mutum gala. I'm say wow, beautiful. Now wey ma amount for vim. Ma mo so munya bi. I don't blame him. Me blame no cry. Now the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operation Secretariat Task Force, NAIMOS for no hand over 100 pumping machines from illegal miners to the National Service Secretariat for agricultural purposes. Now we know mama or down no say machines here omaji. Omudi kwa koye adwuma 30,000 acres of maize and tomato farms under government Feed Ghana program. I'm saying okay, beautiful.
On behalf of the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, I want to welcome you to NAIMOS.
Thank you so much.
NAIMOS has over the past almost a year been conducting operations to rid our water bodies and forests of these gadgets which were being used for unwanted activities or dangerous activities in the field by way of illegal mining. It's a directive of the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Dominic Boah, that having removed these gadgets from the field, there is definitely a positive use for them. And that's what we call the repurposing.
Yeah.
And when we got a letter from your outfit, the National Service Scheme to authorities for pumping machines, we're excited because it is the Honorable Minister's vision that these machines should be repurposed to feed Ghana.
That's true.
And we read that you are going to use them for farming, which sits directly with that vision. So he gave the go-ahead straight away that we should present them to you. He would have wished to do this himself or the Deputy Minister, but they are both on equally very important assignments. So on behalf of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and NAIMOS, we wish to present these 100 water pumping machines to you for the purpose of farming to feed Ghana. So thank you so much for coming to receive them.
Thank you so much. And also on behalf of the Minister for Youth Empowerment and Development and the entire National Service Authority, we want to extend our warmest gratitude to the Honorable Minister, Honorable Boah, and his deputy and the entire ministry and your good self. Yes, we wrote a letter to you requesting that you support us with some pumping machines, because this year we intend to work on 20,000 acres of land for maize alone, and also 10,000 acres for tomato production. And so we all know that with these crops, water is very important. And looking at the distance between where the land is and then where the water body also is, it was imperative that we get as many as possible to support us in, irrigation or for irrigation purposes. And so when the idea duly and well brought up by my able deputy Director General in charge of operations, Colonel Moses Pengu, that why don't we get in touch with NAIMOS, because NAIMOS has quite a number of these seized, equipments. I thought that it was a good idea, and we wrote to you. And lo and behold, I think that it's just about 2 weeks, and you got back to us. We actually requested for 50, and NAIMOS together with the ministry decided to give us 100. I think that they deserve a round of applause. And it's definitely a commitment to ensuring that we see to sustainable, agriculture and promote the Feed Ghana agenda. And
But other than government, but trying to say we're going to galamsey for a pumping machine, and some government or no one National Service Secretariat, ne farms, wakoma mo pumping machine. Mammy Grass was actually come to them say, "Ya try come say galamsey for much of my phone when you're your motivation in yeah. Meaning say ya titi bia dia bomba farmers but this should be an exercise the government is supposed to be taking as on why, because they say also feed Ghana in the aduan say aduan mo yedi mo say National Service Secretariat nko over 30,000 acres of maize and tomatoes look at what it's going to do for Ghanaians. And then Ghana Armed Forces a big farms ɛso ho and the prison service ɛso big farms ho pon ni na beautiful but pumping machine mo twen koji galamsey for the answer na mo da komo Ghana ni ko me ni tete ye prefer saati galamsey for so ne ma na ya je ye da kwacha ma nkrofo galamsey for so pumping machine omunya ato national service secretary so be yaduma omni go water farms bibia be kama galamsey ekosu even to the extent say NDC executive stop it say mama galamsey for nyo madwuma na amanse central na demo coordinator oya someone position aka home still that's canon so no parties canon so no galamsey for the no be aka ho yati more foreigners more Ghanaians over 127 excavators and they say we are sure say by 2030 no nanso no ibi da so hade na dia ne emfanye sa NDC executive because hwe nema mambo su nyina no the government intervention on galamsey but the oye entwa so ye jana man go scot free another person will do it ye nyan ko si da bai say am panishin na wonya sure say asembisi catch me or comment section ase subscribe like na share mo nua eso enye biwe edi no e ba go pe max billion I will naked truth old boga trends macrow bye bye.